it's not an injured knee or anything like that, but you know, if you watch a lot of drop back passers, a lot of throwers will wear that brace on the left knee just because that's the one that gets rolled up on. And I've done it in the past. You know, Mike Hartline wore one. Eric Ainge wore one when I was at Tennessee. So, you know, it's not like it's going to slow him down any to matter. So why not go ahead and do it? And I probably should have done it before.
Studying South Carolina, what do you see on video?
I see a lot of big, fast, athletic guys. You know, their defensive fronts, far and away the best defensive front we will have seen this year. You know, not only are they fast, they're tall. You know, you got ends, and the shortest one's 6'5". You know, so you feel like you can throw over him. You know, but really good on defense, really active, really athletic up front. You know, they lost some people on the back end, but it's hard to exploit the back end because the front, their front makes you get out of your hands so quick.
How far along is a guy named Josh Swindle if you have to use him a lot?
I'm sorry?
How far along is a guy named Josh Swindle?
Well, hopefully he's far enough along to do what we would need him to do. You know, there's we have played with young guys before. We played with freshmen in there before. He got in there last week some and did okay after the first 2 or 3 plays. I think first 2 or 3 plays he was pretty excited about the atmosphere. And but once he settled down, he did all right. So, you know, if he needs to play, we expect him to play well. If we have to help him a little bit in protection, you know, whether sliding the line that way or putting somebody behind him to help him get started, whatever it is, we'll do what we need to do.
Randy, what we've seen of Jalen's been very limited. So what do you guys see from him? What has, you know, what made you think we need to get this guy ready to be our number 2? What does he do well?
Well, that's a good question. It was really a tough decision with he and Patrick early on. The thing Jalen can do, and the advantage young guys always have, is the ability to run. And that's the one thing he has. If he doesn't know what's going on in the passing game, he can pull it down and run and make yards. Not that Patrick can't, but Patrick doesn't have the running ability that Jalen does. And that was the thing that showed up most in fall scrimmages.
If Max does go, have you changed anything for protections to keep that shoulder, you know, from getting hit as much as possible?
Well, you know, you always try to keep him from getting hit. You know, that's always your goal. But you know, when you're playing a front like this, it's even more of a challenge. And you try to get the thing out of your hand fast. You try to make the defensive line have to run sideline to sideline a little bit. You know, we can't just drop back and leave him in the same spot all the time. If we do that, he'll probably get killed. You know, it happens to any quarterback that plays South Carolina right now.
Randy, obviously Morgan didn't throw the ball like he wanted to or you wanted to, but how did your receivers do against that Florida secondary? How did they, especially the young guys running routes against the secondary of that caliber?
John, I thought they did okay. You know, obviously the passing game was much different than it would have been had Max been playing. You know, Max's strengths and Morgan's strengths in the passing game are different. You know, so a lot of the things that the receivers have been doing a lot of and gotten good at, we didn't do. And we kind of had to change gears a little bit. And there was a few little things that I didn't think they handled as well as I would have liked for them to, but also at the same time, it wasn't what they've been practicing a lot. So the things that they've been doing and we've been practicing quite a bit, I thought they handled pretty well.
That first quarter down there, Randy, when you all were able to sort of go head-to-head with Florida, you guys, I think, kind of set a tone a little bit. Was there any positive takeaway from that?
Well, there was a lot of positive in the game. You know, we ran the ball well against a good defensive front that eventually knew we were going to run the ball. You know, and the lack of being able to throw the ball and challenge them down the field a little bit to back them off made it much tougher to run, but yet we were still able to have some success. And you know, it was very much a replay of some of our games last season. You know, we were able to do some things, but then we made mistakes that self-destructed. And until we self-destructed, we had things going pretty well. You know, once the score got out of hand and they kind of knew what was coming, it got much tougher to move the ball.